You know what, if this was 20 like in normal, this would feel more intimidating. And we're back to having a slow, bulky Bloonarius. So our choice of towers have been heavily restricted for this boss event, and it does mean that we can also only build 4 Paragons because of a limit, but number 2, we only have 4 Paragons to build. Technically there's a 5th secret one, but we'll get to that later. Don't mind me, we're about to get ourselves a BRF once we reach 9k. Yeah, 10 grand to start with, 20 in double cash mode. It's a bit exuberant, but we do have a 400% HP Bloonarius. Right, we do have the money now for the BRF. Big red factory, there we go. And because we have a BRF, we're going to go for a Banana Farmer Pro. We're going to connect to this BRF, and then at some point when we get 5k, we are going to have it so that every time you produce a crate, the Banana Intelligence Boreal Banana Farmer Pro, try saying that 10 times in a row after a night out with the lads, and yeah, we're going to just duplicate all of the crates, so we get 2 for the price of 1. So since Dart Monkeys are not available, we need to use a different form of defense for the early rounds, and I think we're going to get the submarine Paragon anyway, so why not get ourselves some subs down? We want one of them to be in the range of Geraldo, so that when we get it up to Energizer, then Geraldo will level up 50% faster. If you have the money right off the bat, you would go for 023, but if you don't have the money right off the bat, obviously you go up to greater productions because you have more bananas produced that way, rather than spending a whole lot just to get to valuable bananas and realizing that it probably was not worth the extra amount that you get from the bananas. Okay, why the bloody hell can I not put a farm in this gap here? Surely it's big enough. Why can I not fit this in here? I'm having a midlife crisis already, but it's just a game of balloons. 3rd BRF in operations. Soon you will all be under my control. Honestly, does that not look big enough to put my village in? I suppose its footprint is just too damn thick. We might need to focus more on defense, especially if we keep getting yellows as regrows. If we cannot fit both a farm and a village in this space, I guess we're just going to have to put another village here so that we can benefit off it once we get ourselves Monkeyopolis, because you get more from the Monkeyopolis if it's under another village with Monkey City. It increases the cash generation of everything in its radius, including the tier 5 version of it. If you're playing for the leaderboard to try and get the fastest time possible, because this is a timed event, this one, so it doesn't matter about your money generation or the amount of tiers that you've inputted or how much cash you've used up. Anything is game here as long as you do it all really quickly. But also, for those who like to constantly go on about IMF loan farming, that is not available this week. We even have a chocolate platform over here so we can fit another farm within the influence of this Monkeyopolis when it is under the influence of the tier 4 take aim from Desperado, because we don't have engineers this week to be able to increase its radius temporarily. Well, that sucks. We can't quite reach up here with the take aim, and I don't fancy just moving you up here just so that we could do that. So we're just going to have to deal with what we've got going on down here, which is 50k, and I think this is probably the max which we can get on this map, unless there's some shenanigans which you could do on the left hand side of the map. Take aim once again, and we have absorbed all of these BRFs into the Monkeyopolis, and we will get ourselves the Monkey City when we get the money for it, which we have now. And while we are at it, we are going to get ourselves the Banana Central before round 40 begins. I imagine the snowball would not be this much within a normal scenario where I don't use double cash, but this just feels so satisfying to get. And now we have the Banana Central. You will not be surviving my money gains, Bloons. So because Ultra Boost is not available in this boss event, we cannot get the absolute max amount out of this Banana Central, which you would usually pair up with a Banana Farm Pro under Banana Intelligence Burial under a Monkey City, while also having Fertilizer and times 10 Ultra Boosted. I think that's it really when it comes to boosts to its outcome. We can just about squeeze you under the influence of the Monkeyopolis so that we get that bit more cash out of you, my dear friend BRF, Big Red Factory. So we've got our Energizer now before round 40, which will mean that Geraldo should be able to get to level 20 that bit more quickly. But now what are we going to do about the tiers? Now then, I am going to get myself the mad because of 400% HP is essentially geared up this scenario, and I hope the Energizer can deal with all of the ceramics which are coming this way. Yeah, it's able to deal with it all. Energizer, high amount of pierce, and all of these ceramics which comes this way will feed nicely into the pop count of the Energizer, and therefore contributing towards the pop counter for our submarine Paragon later on down the line. And I should actually get Geraldo's Fertilizer onto the Banana Central, because that's what you should be doing when you have Geraldo in a boss event. You'll never guess what's behind this tree at all. Oh wait, I accidentally clicked it. There's trees growing out of trees. This is Treeception. Yeah, I thought you could fit more than one sub in this little spot here. So if you can't guess it already, we are going to go for the submarine Paragon, and we're actually going to get it quite quickly because of our income here at the moment. And thankfully we have a very reliable tier 4 to get a lot of costs out of, and that is the first strike capability. While you may not be the best spot on this map to put your Lord of the Abyss so that you can fit more water monkeys down, it's going to be the spot that I will use since it's going to be at the beginning of the map, and it means that everything can be decamouflaged once it becomes even remotely visible on the track. So when we reach each tier, we're going to be constructing a new Paragon. Tier 2, we're going to have the submarine Paragon. And then on tier 3, we're going to build another one. Tier 4, we're going to build another one after that. And then tier 5 is going to be the last one. Although right now, I would like to get the submarine Paragon out of the way so that we have space to put down some boats. We're also going to be boat farming, and I might actually get rid of all of these BLFs for a moment and then trade them all in for some central markets, so that then we can get even more out of the boats while they are also under Monkey City. We didn't build this city under rock and roll. We built it under the sacrifice of thousands of yellow balloons. You may notice we got ourselves the Infernarine and the Moab Eliminator because I want them very close to where I'm going to have my Nordic Siege Corps, so that then when they use their abilities will come back more quickly if the Nordic Siege Corps is submerged. Although at the moment I think we are going to use it unsubmerged so that we can do some damage against Bloonarius here. Okay, we're going to invest more than 400,000. We're going to go all... Hold on. I've got a different idea. We're going to unleash the missiles against Bloonarius first, with a little bit of all that going on, with just a tad bit more money generated. A little bit more. Okay, I'm going to unleash that one, and then we're still not maxing out the Nordic Siege Corps. We'll do this anyways. So a degree. I'm really not happy about that. Really, a 59? Oh my goodness sakes. The game literally saved just after round 61 happened while the Paragon was forged. I'm so unhappy about that. Just one more level would have done us so good. So yeah, advice, do not use this for your own 2TC, no, not 2TC, for your own boss event scenario. That was disappointing. I don't want to rebuild it just to get about one level difference. Well, you just have to stick with the facts, but it's 59 and not 60. I'd rather have it 60, okay? Because every time a Paragon gets a 20th degree higher than the previous 20th degree, it is far more powerful, let's say, from 56 to 57. But 59 to 60 would be huge, and you're going to remain submerged. 12 is the most in which we can fit down over here, but we do have the times 10 central market bonus on them. And now to top it all off, I think we can put the majority of these under a monkey city. Again, all these cities are not built under rock and roll, but the thousands of sacrifices of every yellow balloon there is in existence to the kingdom of monkey kind. I've always wondered, what does this icon represent from the submarine Paragon? And it's also only there when the submarine is submerged. Because when it's unsubmerged, the icon is grayed out. What does this mean? When I said that the 50 monkey cap was not really feeling like a limit, well, it is going to feel like a limit when we have run out of space to put more towers down. I guess boat farming does have its limits on both boat farming itself and for your other towers. So we're going for the Tack Paragon first, and when we reach round 80, we're going to sell some of our farms in order to put more tiers down, so that then we can build a higher degree Paragon for when we get to that point. I am still angry about the fact that we were one level away from being 60. That would have been much better for our odds of survival. How will we fare on round 76? Very well, it seems. The carrier flagship and the Infernal Ring does that quite nicely. And the Super Maelstrom as well would do it. You always want to go with bottom cross path with Super Maelstrom nowadays because it wasn't too recent, but it was made a change to the ability itself where it has a longer ability duration when you go with even more Tacks rather than the faster firing option. Also, I'm making sure that as soon as the Pirate Lord's ability comes back online and when a Merle class balloon is on the screen, it's just able to hook, line and sink it like the prey under the water that it is. Guess what, balloons? Get over here! It's like literally every BFB that spawns out, the ability comes back online thanks to being in the range of the Energizer. Well, in this case, it was Sub-Paragon. So, you are going... Actually, I'm only going to put one fertilizer on you because I'm going to sell a bunch of you. And then we're going to be right back when we have more Tacks down. Only 15 Ring of Fire Tacks down with super range Tacks. Yeah, that's not enough. We're going to require a few more. One thing I would love in the future for Paragons is when you are about to upgrade it, there's a little counter that says the Paragon degree that you will get at this given point in time. With like all of the tier 4 and below towers down, all of the damage that you have done. That's not match damage, obviously. But I just wish there was some indicator from Ninja Kiwi thinking that we are not all having a degree in maths or physics or being able to do A-level maths or be able to understand formulas in general. And then the most elite of players saying the formula is so easy to understand. Well, maybe we don't want to be at school in a game like this. Again, I'm totally not angry about the 59 submarine Paragon there. Okay, let's get this up and max it out here. And we got a degree 61, I think that was. Yeah, there we go. If I can get one of your levels and put it on the submarine. Okay, we're going to build up our farms and then we're going to utterly destroy, tier 3 Bloonarius. Right, this is our setup. We're not going to get the ballistic obliteration missile bunker just yet. I think it would be nice for us to A, generate our finances back, and B, get a few more pops out of these bomb shooters in which only the eliminator has some pops on. Okay, you're going to go on there and I'm going to save that fertilizer for you. Actually, no, we can get away with another one. Anyways, let's begin tier 3. I'm going to unsubmerge you. Hopefully I don't need camo detection, but then again, we've got the Pirate Lord for that. Okay, what are we going to do here? We're going to absolutely desecrate the ever-living existence out of you. That is your existence, dear Bloonarius. Prepare the nuke strike of your life. And obviously after that, we will absolutely desecrate the ever-living hell out of you that is called your existence. You may regurgitate against me all you want. That is not going to stop me for being able to take you down. And there goes tier 3 just like that. I'm just spamming 2 and left clicking the mob ass in. I know I said it wrong on purpose there. Just so that we can get the maximum amount of pops that we could possibly can out of this. Although because of how spaced out the ZOMGs are on that round, remember the hook did the most of the work there from the Pirate Lord. But that is by design, that is within our intentions. We might actually need to sell one of our towers here so that our bomb shooters can have some camo detection, because the decamification doesn't really reach the DDTs from this point over here. So I think our safest bet is to sell one of our monkey cities for the time being. But I will put you back once we get the bomb paragon. But just for the time being, with these DDTs down on the track, I need something in order for them to be able to have camo detection from. And obviously, the Tack paragon cannot get camo detection from a primary mentoring. I cannot mentor my paragon because it is too clumsy. No, it is just too stubborn to receive benefits. That's what it is. It can only receive benefits from similar powers like other paragons. Here we go. Come on, you ugly behemoths. I will slay you where you stand. And Balloon Crush is doing a lot of work against these Hellions here. Keep spamming those bomb abilities. We need all the pops that we can get. And you're not going to stop me either way. Come on, DDTs. I love the Mob Eliminator just absolutely striking all of the balloons whenever there is a Moab on the track with its ability. And these haven't got bad enough pops themselves, like 13k, 17k, 19k. It all adds up. I mean, it's probably the best option when you just want something to have guaranteed damage. But obviously the real star of the show is actually the Mob Eliminator, but if we had enough time with the Balloon Crush, that would have stolen the show itself. So we've got nearly 3 million, but we don't have enough tier 4 or below towers to boot. Right, what degree are we going to get out of this? We're going to put everything that we can. Actually, I'm going to put down some totems as well, just to hopefully increase the level a bit higher as well. Okay. Nearly 2.5 million. Why does every degree have to have 1 at the end? Is it a check mark to see that it does well? 65. You know what? That's not bad. Again, if you could just trade one of your levels with the submarine, I'll be very appreciative. But anyways, we are in this scenario, so let's now go back to having more farms on the field. That'd be great. To some, this might be called cheating, but I am putting in 2 portable lakes. Okay? We have got the monkey capacity to be able to do this, and now we're at 20 of these. So that's brilliant. The maximum benefits, and then we're going to get ourselves a monkey city for these as well. Bomb paragon ready. Tack paragon ready. You? What? Are you unsubmerged or submerged? Let's look at you. Nope, you're submerged. Now you're unsubmerged. Good. You have been grayed out now. I know they're not toys, Geraldo. We just stop it. Okay, we're going to absolutely annihilate the ever-living hell out of you. That is your existence. And the bomb paragon, I think, is going to do probably the most amount of single target damage throughout everything here, aside obviously the Navark Paragons means of being able to instantly hook in a bad regardless of what HP it's at. I'm just worried about DDTs, honestly. We need a means of decamifying them, and I might actually put down a plutonium reactor later on just so that we have something to be able to venture forth against DDTs, because that's not going to be a pretty scenario. Unleash that beautiful Tack Paragon ability there, and when we get it, the Bomb Paragon ability as well. Now the question is, should I submerge my sub Paragon so that these abilities can come back more quickly, or do I think that having the attack with the submarine Paragon on because we're unsubmerged is better? I don't know. But what we do know is that this Pirate Lord is granting, well, and also these favorite traits as well, granted camera section. I've decided that Hot Shot is better. Now, hopefully the majority of the time, the only thing that is going to be able to pop balloons aside when we get to the Bomb Paragon or the Tack Paragon's range are boats. And with plutonium reactors, it doesn't matter if we don't damage it with a plutonium reactor. As long as it's within the range of a plutonium reactor, it will be able to decamoufy regardless. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't have heat-tipped darts, it will still be able to decamoufy a DDT all the same. Oh gosh, these DDTs are making it very far. Yeah, these two Paragons are useless against DDTs unless they've been decamified. I suppose there's a benefit as well having you submerged so that we can decamo them. Because Ninja Kiwi decided that because these Paragons and their innate underlings do not have any means of detecting camo balloons, it means that the Paragons themselves cannot hit camo balloons. That way the Navark will solve that when it comes to being able to hit DDTs without obviously needing camera section. But this is very trickstery, and it means that they could get very close to the exit, which I'm not a fan of really. I'm just glad I placed my Nordic Siege Core in a spot where it can do very well. And I keep forgetting to put fertilizer on my farms. But that'll be the last round anyway. Or last time I'll be putting fertilizer on towers. Do not go past this point, please. If you go past Geraldo, I think we are in trouble. Although I think that is the last round of... No, there are still more DDTs. Of course there are more DDTs. How could there not be more DDTs? Alright, get rid of these pesky bads, and then we are going to be on our way towards getting ourselves a grand Navark. Only 5 power totems down, but let's see what we get once we sell everything that is not a boat or a Paragon. It's very nice that you're under ×3 favor trade, which means we get a few 10k more than if we didn't have you under favor trades. And you as well. I kind of wish this also benefited under favorite trades, but I think that would just be broken for Quincy action figure. Okay, now we cannot put a Sun Temple onto the water because of the fact that ice towers are banned. We can't put an Arctic Wind down, so we cannot get the carrier flagship benefit onto the Vengeful True Sun God, in which we will get. Okay, yes, everything has a cost, I understand that. So I'm going to put 1.5 million into you and hope that we can get what we want to get. So that is going to be a degree level. I love ceramics, regrow ones. So that's going to be the Sun Temple. Everybody needs to have a bit of bling every now and then. But speaking of bling, let us now descend forth to the Vengeful True Sun God. You will do it. Excellent. Now, people say that the military sacrifices are much better nowadays because of the reworks of the Vengeful True Sun God. And just like the Sun God in general and Sun Temple, the only thing that's really been nerfed recently is the fact that when you go to Sun Temple, and also from there, the True Sun God, the tier sacrifice requirements are more expensive, but obviously the maximum sacrifice costs of 50k has been unchanged. And you're going to be a support temple so that you can enhance the damage output of our Vengeful True Sun God. Because why wouldn't you want to benefit your Vengeful True Sun God with a Sun Temple? You know, when I talked about having a plutonium reactor up to decamo stuff, I think I've got a better idea. the true range buff is not with a village or a Vengeful True Sun God, but it's under EchoSense Network. Yeah, I think if I lose at this scenario, I think I am what they call a bad player at the game. This Bloonarius doesn't stand a chance, for goodness sakes. We're combined might of all of this, and I think we can guarantee victory. It would be even more OP if we still had the Arctic Knight / Pop Silent bug, where their projectiles can bounce off the screen when their ability is active. Anyways, let's just get this Bloonarius done and dusted so that we can just absolutely donk on it. 160 million HP. And just to add a bit more damage to the wonders here, we shall do just that. Okay, just unleash everything, okay? We're going to nuke this Bloonarius as well. And I find that, I think the final harmonic is probably the best answer that we've got now for decamoing, because look at the range of it. Would you like decamo map wide? I've got the solution for you. Look, I don't care if the game operates at 5 frames a second. This is so satisfying to just see and behold. Look at this for a strategy to beat this on. You know what, we're going to take aim on the Vengeful True Sun God, and it truly has a lot more range. It will go down though as time goes on, and that is a what are these superstorms like? You're literally covering up these desperados and everything there, not including the Vengeful True Sun God. Nothing can eclipse the true Sun God. Yeah, I love these slow, indestructible Bloonariuses that just takes a shitload of pounding to get down. If I were to give you an analogy of what's going on, I think just look at the screen for yourself and see what's going on. Because I literally cannot give any context as to what's going on here, because we are literally covered with so many projectiles on the screen, 50% of which is coming from the Monarch. Looking at all of these storms right here. Our true enemy actually is not going to be the balloons, but the clock here. We are a quarter of a way through, but luckily we're more of a quarter of a way through the HP of this boss. Otherwise we're going to be in for a really rough time. The nuclear strike will go out. It's been that long and we've unleashed our second nuclear strike upon these balloons. I wish we had something in which we could store the... Actually, I might actually put in place I need you to reach actually. I'm going to put down a relentless glue. I'm going to have you on last so that hopefully you can reach the very end of the track here, but there's nothing else I can really put down though. Yeah, you're in range, so I'm going to have you two on last. Essentially, if again, the Naval keeps sucking them all in though. The beauty of the glue storm is that when the final harmonic removes the glue off, it just keeps constantly putting the glue back on because it's a glue storm and not a glue strike. Yeah, Ryan Melholic tried to do a modded 1 billion HP Elite Bloonarius boss event, but it was just like, the clock was literally the greatest threat. Like, just getting enough damage down so that you could actually do the boss event, like, nah, I wouldn't want to try that. Even with double cash, I wish I could put down the ordnance, but Ninja Kiwi decided that the mortar was not allowed. What did the mortar ever do? Let's see the casualty numbers so far. 29 million on you, 62 million on the ballistic obliteration missile bunker. 17 million on you. You're at 20 million. You're going to do that. I'm actually going to unsubmerge you actually, so I think I need your firepower. And obviously with the Navark it's going to be a huge amount because of the fact that we keep drawing in lots of balloons, especially ones that spawn. Okay, we are getting our way through. The last quarter of this boss event is coming up now when it comes to HP, but obviously if we don't have enough power to take out the Bloonarius, then time is going to be your greatest threat. And the Navok sometimes is your greatest threat as well, because you keep pulling in everything that spawns in the beginning of the map. How dare ye? Also, the man has got 2 million pops. That's not bad. We're about to enter the last skull of this boss. You are taking one hell of a pounding, but I do like that. I just wish, though, that the end of the round would be a bit longer, just so that we don't get to 140 a bit sooner. I'd rather it take as long as possible, but obviously you might have something to say about it. Navark. I'm trying to spawn the Navark. Maybe we would benefit more from the VTSG if we did go with military sacrifices rather than support sacrifices for the Sun Temple stage when it comes to damage output. Right, the last 10 million of its HP, and then we would devour the 20-star Elite Bloonarius boss event. One last nuclear strike for the lads, although this Bloonarius might go down before we actually get to the stage where we unleash hell upon this helium behemoth. There we go. I was trying to say that for so long. Okay, we have done the boss event. Whether we've done it in a quick, timely manner, I do not know, but look at the monkey star of this boss event. The ballistic obliteration missile bunker scored nearly 73 million pops. That is like a quarter of this entire scenario. And I think most of that is from its ability alone. So I don't mind this being a very slow shooter, but it deals the damage. Anti-Moab explosions, balloon stunning explosions, knockback explosions. It has explosions, cluster explosions. Yeah, I think this is a bomb shooter, if you can't tell. So you did not too bad. Obviously, you were the star of the show. You got 36 million. You got 28 million. We could have gone a bit more if we were allowed the Ultra Boost, but alas, no. And your PS is buffed by both Lord of the Abyss and the Final Harmonic being nearby, because obviously you benefit heroes more than magic monkeys, but you still get a PS benefit, which is nice. But does the VTSG really need a PS benefit? Yes. Yes, it does. But thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Let's just see what everything else has got. You got nearly 1 million. You got 3 million. That's not bad. That's not bad. The Blazing Sod, not much, obviously. Woody here got 3 million. That's great. That's honestly really good. Obviously, didn't expect a huge amount from the Desert Phantom because some of our buffs have gone by being near other towers. Poseidon nearly got the year in which we're on, except out by 10 years. Lord of the Abyss, I didn't expect much. Arctic Knight, didn't really expect much. Wanted some of the Moabs that spawned to stay up here. Perhaps Super Glue would have been better, but then again, Super Glue does damage. Bears got over 3 million, just to show that the Bears can keep up with the Mad when it comes to pops, and obviously your only objective is to stop balloons from reaching the end of the track. That's literally your purpose. You got over 2 million, which is nice. And you got nearly 1 million. Your purpose was just to pop small balloons. Anyways, this outro's gone for far too long now. But that was a brilliant scenario. Obviously, only 600,000 for the support sacrifice Sun Temple. Yeah, your single purpose was literally just to benefit the VTSG. Although you do benefit other things because you got the Icon Bear and the Icon Bear. Thank you all so much for watching, and we got ourselves an Orca. As part of our rewards, we got fish that we didn't even use in the scenario as a brought thing. But obviously the Beast Handler kind of decided to give me a gracious gift like that, in which we have... We've got... I'm actually looking at the wrong monkey altogether, which we've already got 10 other copies. Thank you all so much for watching and take care of yourselves, everybody.